Tiffany Haver's review of Dean Kaplan and Roger Graham's The Development of Online Courses is published in the academic text, Theory and Practice of Online Learning. The authors provided some starting points for things that should occur before development of an online course can begin. They discuss how the term online course has no standard definition, and this can be confusing. They also discussed the importance of having faculty know that their jobs will not be lost to technology, but rather will receive appropriate recognition and reward for embracing online instruction. They reinforce the importance of employing sound teaching methods, as poor pedagogy is poor pedagogy, regardless of the medium in which it is presented. Additionally, they discuss how a new teaching paradigm is presenting itself, and this will fundamentally change teaching and learning. Teacher education is essential for success. Faculty need to be pedagogically proficient in conjunction with having the technical and administrative skills required to teach in an online environment. Kaplan and Graham reinforce the importance of learning how to adjust time and resources to best meet the challenges of online teaching. They proceeded to share their views on the actual development process that must take place in order to create a successful online course. They discussed the merits of centralizing the online courses development unit. They reminded readers of reusable learning objects available through successful repositories such as Merlot, Edna, and Smeet. They clearly explained that Web 2.0 isn't a new and better web, but rather a phrase that depicts a new way to use the web through social networking and virtual worlds. They felt that it was important to define the development team. While there are 5 key roles of subject matter expert, graphic designer, web developer, programmer, and an instructional designer, they admit that often we can't have 5 separate team members, but fewer members who must do more than one job. There was a lot of interesting and informative information in this volume, but a few shortcomings or flaws could potentially be discussed. While review is often helpful, the intended audience for this reading should have a pretty firm idea of what encompasses good pedagogy, so this section could be viewed as a little tedious or extraneous. Since the authors touched on how time and money can affect where we go in the process, it would have been helpful to receive non-monetary based ways to manage our time better. Even a researcher or teaching assistant costs money. It's true that the author spends some time in discussing the relevance of determining what the definition of an online class is, but they themselves never gave a firm definition. While I'm sure that we are to ascertain that the definition can change based on our project, it would have been nice to have a little less convoluted explanation and a little more ownership of what they thought that definition could be. They covered a number of important points as well. While I ding them for their extensive review of sound pedagogical foundations, I can see where someone outside of the target audience would benefit from the review. The material they presented was generally clear and concise, with good information flow and related information throughout the discussion. All of their time management ideas were good. Sure, I would have liked to have seen a few more that didn't require funding, but their ideas were grounded in reality and what we actually face. They continued to be upfront and honest about the challenges that we face in regards to gaining faculty buy-in and the ever-present money and time constraints. The 3 things that touch me deepest and that I can use in my professional life are the WICHE standards, the new teaching paradigm, and teacher education. The Western Interstate Commission for Higher Education lists standards which includes, among other things, faculty responsibility for oversight of distance education, the requiring of the institution to provide adequate faculty training, and an assurance of student access to library resources and provision of general but comprehensive student support. The new paradigm should not be the old joke, what's a paradigm? 20 cents. Instead, to meet the possibility of the new teaching paradigm, WICHE recommends that we develop a tolerance for ambiguity. There can be more than one right answer. We need to encourage cognitive stretch. We need to make it just a little too hard for the students so they have to work for it. And we need to employ formative, fully integrated assessment through the entire course. How do we improve teacher education? We turn the online teacher into the online student for at least one class. They need to experience the other side of that dime. Continually assess and update pedagogical understanding and views. Provide faculty and instructors with the administrative and technical skills they need to be successful. Everyone is frustrated when an instructor can't figure out how to use the software. How can I make this work for me? My immediate goal is to ask for better faculty oversight of our non-credit certificate programs, and I want to help my faculty and instructors receive the skills that they need to provide better instruction so they can be more confident while giving that instruction. And I want to find a way to give better student support. Currently, I cannot stretch any further. I need additional resources in the form of a human resource, and I will continue to lobby for this.